Good morning, everybody. This is Dolores again on this Majestic Monday. Majestic in the sense of the word is to place a high or a powerful level held in high regard of something that's beautiful and dignified and grand and magnificent and it's this feeling of great admiration and respect, because of something's size or power. And that's the word we're using today to describe God. And he is powerful. He's wonderful. He's awesome. He's just a great God. He's so big we can't comprehend him or all that he is, and all that he can do. That's why sometimes we have a hard time having faith and believing in some impossible things. But in the word it says that what is impossible with man is possible with God. And so just think upon that word today, majestic. Even pronouncing it is just makes you feel some type of way. So I just want to come to you today and you know um, remind you guys of the beginning verse that started all these teachings, and we're still on one other part of it. There's so many parts to this verse that 2 Corinthians 6:17 that we had to break it down, and that's how the word is. In order to understand it fully, you need to take it piece by piece, and chew on it, gnaw on it, and hold it dear to you, hold it in front of you, for a while till you really get the full understanding of what it means and what God is saying to you at that moment. So it is come out from among them and be ye separate. So come out. We talked about that and we said that's an invitation. It's an invitation for you to come. We described it as something as being invited to a party. Someone send you an invitation to a party, and um, uh, then it says, "Be ye separate," and we talked about that too. Sometimes, all the time, God will separate you in this process, in this stage of the process. You will be separated, and that is going to be something that you will come to desire. It's not going to be a forced thing. When you enter into this covenant, love covenant relationship with the Lord, you're going to want to be separated. You're going to be asking God to, remove anything or anyone that's hindering me, from becoming closer to you, to, finding out who I am and what is my purpose. And you're going to want that. And trust me, you will. If your heart is genuine and your motives are pure and why you want this relationship, you are going to want to be separated from anything that um, is hindering you from growing in a loving relationship with the Lord. And some people are not going to like it because they want you to stay the same way because it benefits them in their lives and what they're doing. They don't want to come out yet. So they're not going to want you to come out. And so when you choose to, then he'll take over from there. And so just allow him to, you know, don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. Let the process take its course. Adhere to what the Lord is placing on your heart. And when it time, I remember when I love my jeans. I love to wear blue jeans, and I had a closet full of them, and I didn't stop wearing them. I kept wearing them, and one day the Lord said, "I need you to give all these jeans away. I'll let you keep 3 pairs." And that was it. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, all my jeans." And He separated me from those. So it's not just people; it'll be people, places, and things He'll separate you from, because He don't want you to love anything or anybody more than you love Him. And and it's not selfish of Him. It's just who He is. God is love. And so, he thrives, from a place of love, and he thrives in giving love and showing love, to us. So he wanted me, he didn't want to take, it wasn't that he wanted to take the genes from me. He wanted me to recognize that love was only a place for him. And so, even now, I still only have three pair of jeans, and that's been, 2006 when that happened in my life. I still today only go past three pair of jeans in my wardrobe, and so it's not because I don't want them. I still, care. I like my jeans, but they are not my priority. They're not in a place where I have to have, that in my life. You know, it's a choice. And so I wasn't even aware of it, that I was still at that place of just having three. And it's okay. I don't have a problem with that. And so that's the separated part. So just be alert, and not try to hold on to things he's trying to separate or people he's trying to separate you from. And know and don't condemn yourself thinking that you've done something to them to cause them, to not be in your life anymore. It could be God doing the separating, um, in your life. And so, and then we went on to, and the Lord said, touch not any unclean thing. And so we talked about that a little bit also, about, the touching the unclean things. And only you know what those things are in your life. I can't tell you what your unclean thing is. You have to seek the Lord, in finding out what that unclean thing is that he's telling you not to touch anymore. I know what it was for me, fornicating, drinking, and, letting my mouth get away with me. I used to curse like a sailor, and um, but I can't tell you when that stopped. All I know is I just came to Christ, and some things just dropped off of me, and I don't know what day or how long that took. All I know is my focus was on Him, and so meanwhile, while it was on Him, I those things just fell off. And so, and then the other portion, the last portion is, that we're going to talk about today is, and and I will receive you. And so, once all these things have to take place before He receive you. So even when you choose to come into Christ, He's saying that these things have to take place before you can really. Sometimes we'll come into, to the Lord and proclaim salvation, and we're still haven't separated, allowed the separation to take place. We still haven't, you know, um, walked away from the unclean things, and so it's going to take a process before you get to this place where He says, I will receive you. Yes, you are saved. There is salvation. The salvation is free. You don't have to do anything for it. So that's not what this is saying. That's not what this is saying. This is a process that takes place after the salvation. After you receive salvation, it's a free gift. You don't have to work to do anything, but to maintain it, just like you do anything. When you get a car, you have to maintain it. You have to put the gas in it, make sure it has the right quality of gas. You have to do the oil change, keep up all the maintenance on it, uh, wash it. You'll keep it clean. All these things, make sure the tires are rotated and have the right amount of air in it. So there's things that you have to do to maintain it. And this is the same way with salvation, or when you're delivered, from something. You have to maintain that in order to keep it. It's not something you just get into and it's just automatically, oh, well, I'm in now. All I got to do is just kick back and relax, and everything is going to be, fine and dandy. But no, that's not it. You have to maintain it. And so that's what this verse is all about. It's the maintenance part of salvation once you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. It's a maintenance that needs to take place on an ongoing basis. So because sometimes you might get in a place on this journey after you've been saved, and it ain't no might, you will get onto this place and you will find yourself, hey, I done hooked up with the wrong people. It might not be the same ones you left behind before, but this is a different set of people, that is hindering my walk. And sometimes it's in church. And so that doesn't mean the church is a hospital, and so it's for sick people. So stop this talking about you went to church and people are hypocrites and this and that there, because church is a hospital. So sick people are there. None of us are perfect. We all still have issues that we need to grow from. And that takes one step at a time, one day at a time for everybody. I might not be in at the phase that you're in. You might not be at the phase I'm at. So we just have to be patient with each other, and help each other grow. If you see me and I'm doing something or saying something I don't have no business, check me, and come to me. Hey, let's go on. And if I'm not approachable, some people are not approachable at that point, because the Bible says that um, you know, a foolish man will despise the words of a wise man. So I might not be approachable to you. So then you pray. You pray for me. Not tear me down or slander me. Slander my name all over the church or whatever. Pray for me. That God heal me from whatever ails me in that area that you see. But the Bible also said, first take the plank out of your own eye. So you got to check yourself and make sure that none of that is going on in your life first. And then, you'll be able to help your brother, out of his situation. But either way, this is, like I said, this is a maintenance verse. And today, we'll go back over and do some recapping about this verse along the way, but we'll be moving on to another verse after this one today. And so, but as you come out from among them, examine yourself, ask yourself these questions. Why am I seeking a relationship with the Lord? Is it because you want what he can do for you? The whole part of this teaching is that we have a transformed and renewed mind. It's in Romans 12:1 and 2, and it tells you, that we are to have a transformed and renewed mind. Once we begin this journey, that should be our main goal, is to seek that transformation in our minds, because if not, then we're going to come into this new covenant love relationship with the same thinking that we had and the same behaviors that we had before, and except now we're going to be doing them directly, to God. So if we were a manipulator, we're going to try to manipulate God. If we was a negotiator, you might call them both the same. They just different, have a different meaning, when you use them. But so then, like some people say, well, God, if you do this, I'll do that. Well, God, some people make vows to God. Well, God, if you do this, I won't never do this again, and all that type stuff. That's the stuff you do in the world. When you surrender all. You surrender everything. There's no negotiation and debating going on with God and all that. If you're a liar, then you're going to come in and you're going to steal, then you're going to start lying to God. Well, I did this, I did it. He knows everything, so you can't lie to him. You won't be getting away with it, but you'll still be doing those same behaviors and with God, And if you're looking for him to be your sugar daddy, if you had a sugar daddy, when you was in the world, that's how you're going to treat him. If you had a cougar for you men, that's how you're going to treat him, like he's your cougar or whatever. And so it's just that God doesn't, he doesn't need us, he wants us. And there's a difference when you need somebody. It's like, oh, I can't do without you. You know, need sometimes can be in a form of desperation. And when you come to into a relationship feeling desperate, then the other person has an opportunity to take you for granted and use you. And but when you come content, and knowing who you are and who that person is to you, and how you want to grow in that relationship with that person, then you come to a place where I want you. It means that you have a choice to stay with me or not. You have a choice to stay. And so, but God, he wants you. And he gives you that choice to stay with him, or you have the choice to leave. He desires for you to stay with him, but you always have a choice whether you want to leave or stay, because he's not a God that forces you to do anything. So his desire is for you to want him, just like he wants you. And another thing is that God not only loves you, but God likes you. And, have you ever had anyone in your life or around you where, you would say, well, I love them with the love of God, but I don't like them, and but God is not like that. He not only loves you, but he likes you. And so I just want to leave you with this majestic message today, and examine yourself, who what are you really, what is your real motive for wanting and seeking or entering into this covenant love relationship with God? What is your true motive? Is it true? Is it truth? Is it pure? Is it something that would be honoring and to God, your motives? And those who are already, have already made that choice, this is self-examination time, for us as well. Why are we there? Because if God doesn't answer your prayer, are you going to be angry with him and mad? You know, that's a motive issue there. And so I just ask the Lord to, bless you today and keep you. And during this time of self-examination, that you be real with yourself so that you can be real with God. And he can show you how to be real with others. I love you and have a great day.